Welcome. On this channel, I do unscripted, unedited videos about Linux programming and stuff. Most recently, I have been working on a little toy educational game, and I am in the middle of taking some prompt-generated code that will form the foundation of the game and kind of piecing it together. So a bunch of multiple separate sessions with Gemini Pro to create kind of the fundamentals of our main epoll loop and structure of code. But I'm not using it as is. I'm taking from a couple different of sources and kind of merging it all together. And that is what I am at the moment working on. And in the previous video, we had pulled in the Q code, and I have a strong suspicion I didn't even look at it, but it probably, I want to go look. So source Q. I did see some of it, but actually let's take a look at vim source Q H. Okay, so it's using snake case for everything. What I probably should be doing right now is, well, what I really should be doing is building test files for it. What we're going to want to do is I'm going to copy test. Let's take the game test and copy it to test q tests .c, and then we can take a look at vim source, nope, not source, q test, q tests. I largely am just going to make an empty shell here initially. So from source, we're going to need q.h, and we're going to need, we're almost certainly going to need a, well, we'll find out if we need anything else. What was the first thing? Oh, that was state. So, sorry. Oh, kind of lost that. So I want q.h and q.c, and we're going to say test q foo, setup teardown test game test c. Nope. It's going to be q tests. Is this supposed to be test plural? Tree, yes it is. And tree test, I currently have q test, so move q test q test to end with an s. Okay, much better. So test q tests, bring in the tests, do the thing, and instead of anywhere where there's the word game, it needs to be q make tests. Okay, so we now have that extra test file that does nothing. Add empty q tests. Clear. Okay, so tree source. Here I'll show you. So what's going on? It was, if you didn't see the previous video, is this code is generated from a from working with Gemini, and pretty much all of it is lumped into here. It has all of the Q code. It's all laid out in a single file. And what I decided to do was to take the Q code from here. So if we look in server, this was I have a general confidence that the queue is going to work like a queue is supposed to. Let's actually start to test that though. So if we look at the server code, actually, before I dive into testing that, so hold it. We're in the server C. Let's take a look at, oh, I didn't mean to search for signal. I meant to search for Q. So, interesting that it defines the Q capacity here. Is Q capacity used out? Well, everything is in one file. But we're using this code. Were we using this code? Crap, now I'm confusing myself. Source QC. Yeah. So we got Q create. Let's just try and let's do this for now. Let's use, I'm not going to actually use the test. I'm going to Vim source client. I'm going to use the client. And what I want to do, so we're going to need Q. And we're going to need log, and we have both. And this is going to have the same problem, so we have to Q capacity isn't defined. So we'll bring that over. It's unclear to me. Bin client. That runs, or that makes. Okay, so taking a good look at this, we have Q create. Let's do this. I want to be able to look at these two files at the same time. So we're in main, but I want to be able to look at, we're in 51, but I want to be able to look at QC. So we have Q create, Q destroy, right? So eventually here, the last Q destroy is just this. And so running this, let's put it on the outside. So the cleanups would go here. Seems to have no issue. Bin client, nothing blows up. And we haven't done anything with the queue yet, but so coming here. So here it's creating the worker pool. The only reason we see the destroy queue is there. Actually, let me change the way I'm searching. We don't need to see that. Let's just search for queue. Okay, so we've done all that code. These are just the destroys on failures to set everything up. But somewhere down in here, we have handle queue, handle client data, and we pass the message queue to this function. So let's find handle client data, which this is in server C. Is it in worker? No. Okay, so where in this file, I want to go back to server C. So it's not in this file. Let's it's not in that file. Is it really not in this file? Okay, let's handle client data is the thing I'm looking for. My problem right now is if I search here, right? How can I only have the one reference? Okay, I'm confused, but what I'm going to do here is drop out of this and say cd, oops, no, don't want to split. I want to drop over to project, LPS, video, video 51. 51. grep rn server handle, let's handle client data, right? Handle client data. Where the hell are you defined? Let's look in server. So it looks like it's defined in network, line 15. Seems like a funny dividing line. I would have expected it to, let's take a look at network. So the way, well, it just arbitrarily broke things up. I would have expected the packing of that. I'm not sure where I would expect the boundary, right? But let's just take a look at what's going on here. Handle client data. So the most interesting thing is I want to look at the queue. Anything using the queue here. I am currently in network C. Handle client queue. So just the word queue will be fine. What we're doing here first is just asserting that the context isn't null and the queue is not equal to null. And then eventually we we do this. So source client. Oh, I got to jump back. Vim source client. So I think what we'll do here, right, is this isn't particularly useful, but I think what we'll do is we can, I don't know if the queue, if it has to be a message, right? It probably does. So let's look at q.h. Type def. I don't think it cares what the message is. It just so we have create queue. So the only functions we really have here are create, destroy, push, pop. And to create, we've given it a capacity. To destroy, we just give it the pointer back. On push, we're giving it a queue and we're giving it a message. And on pop, we're just giving it the queue. Now, does it just hold on to the point? No, I mean, yeah, it's just going to hold on to the pointer of the message, isn't it? Oh no, it knows it's a message. Okay. So one of the things that we could do is just write code to build a message, right? And display a message. That would be a good place to start. In fact, I'm going to do that. So at the moment, we don't need the Q code. What I need rather is to build a message. And so a message had so I'm going to need a string. I don't know a good way to do this yet. My Sifu be too weak. But I need a that is what it's going to be. Right. So we have our message. I need a I'm going to have a message header T. We'll just call it header. That is equal to it's going to have a type. We'll call this the and it needs a length, which is going to be is it of okay, so first thing it does include string age because we don't, yeah, that's obvious. So and then error, probably forgetting this. Unused variable makes sense. So I think I'm going to want code to do things for me, like that can just take a different data struct and build that message for me. But I don't know if this is all right. So I need to get a buffer. I need to look at how the I mean, I could do something like this where I malloc. So in the end, I would want this to be a pointer to a pointer to a message header that it currently equals null. This is just totally wrong. But what I would want to do is size of I can just use the defines. So I want max message length, and what I'm passing in. Oh, well, what I originally was thinking is, how do I what's the easy way to ad hoc kind of build a piece of structured data in memory? Do I mean, I effectively want to say this structure, then this data, then this structure. So the problem here is that's not, I mean, I could do that. I could just make my kind of an on the fly struct, right? I could say, wow, I'm not exactly sure how to go about this. I think that this is just going to be the topic of the next video with a little tiny bit of research in between. I mean, what's in my head is that I could just build a struct on the fly, and that doesn't seem right. Okay, I got sidetracked here from what I was doing initially, but what I'm going to do is I want to take a look at this. So actually, I need to do q.h. Oops. If right now, I just changed this to be a character, right? I just want to test that I can push something on the queue. And so if I did that, and I have my greeting, right? I should be able to create the queue, push onto queue, and then pop from the queue that same value. So I take that thing, I put that there, and then I just say, hey, we're putting the queue pop, queue queue push. Does it return? No, it doesn't, because I'm just popping off of queue pop. And then I destroy. All right, so we're definitely using the queue. If this, it does not like that. So let's back up here. Let's blow up all that. Oh. Do I have so push takes the queue pointer and the message, and did this blow that up? Yes. So unuse. So the queue does have an internal understanding of the message somehow, and I don't quite understand where, right? Because if I just let's do this, e split source. You know, if we look at message, you know, message doesn't have that mutex. It doesn't care anything about it. But if we look at source queue, what was the error? So it's blowing up. Oh, no, syntax error. Or I mean, make clean, make bin client. So assignment from character pointer to. So that's happening. So there's a couple places internally where, so what we really want to do is we want the, I want the queue. In fact, I'm going to just prompt Gemini to do it probably. I want the queue to be just take types of void pointer, right? I want it to be agnostic to the data that it's carrying around. Can that work? Should that work? I think the answer, I mean, it does, it pretty much has to be the same kind of data in there all the time. So interestingly, those are warnings, and this probably does work then. Make clean, make bin client. Bin client doesn't blow up. E source client. Let's push pop. Yep. So let's make it. Oh no, so now it blows up. It doesn't, it has a meltdown when we try to undeclared first use in the function did I mean qt client c27 27. We tried to use q. Yes, it is qt. And this is qt. No, it's message queue. and pop from message queue, and then destroy message queue. But now we get the warning error. So we do get errors in there, but it is in main on 28 message greeting. So we add queue push message, but what we really want to push is the greeting. Okay, let's go. There it is. We're missing a parenthesis here. I cannot type. I cannot type. There we go. So I was missing a parenthesis there. We are all... is this all external warnings? Passing argument 1 of puts from incompatible type. Bin client. Yeah, so okay, so I'm fine. You know, the queue works as intended, at least in a single threaded context. I actually kind of know it works completely because we can run it in the other code. But what I really need to know how to do is to properly build one of these messages. And so I'm largely, well, I'm gonna leave it how I had it. I'm going to leave it how I had it. I am not sure. Oh, I'm back to all the way back to that error. My intention here is I will leave it like I had it. Make yep. Make clean. Okay. When I come back in the next video, I will have maybe done a little research and figured out, or maybe I'll just do it in the video. But the next thing is to figure out the correct way to build one of those messages on the fly. See you in the next video.